Good evening. Welcome to South Asia Newsline. I'm Yeshi Chonzom. Here are the top stories we're tracking for you on Thursday, the 25th of November. Prime Minister Modi lays foundation stone of Asia's biggest airport in India. Panic grips across Pakistan as petrol retailers hold nationwide strike for higher profit margins. And will act tough against those responsible for Easter bombings, Sri Lankan President warns opposition. And now for all the details. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Thursday laid the foundation stone of Asia's biggest airport in politically crucial Uttar Pradesh state. The Prime Minister said the airport is set to become the logistics gateway of northern India and will bring new opportunities for numerous enterprises and also create tremendous employment opportunities. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Thursday laid the foundation stone of Noida International Airport, built to be the Asia's biggest in northern Uttar Pradesh state. Construction work for airport in Jewar town has begun and it is expected to be operational by the year 2024. Spread over 1,334 hectares of land, the airport will feature a multimodal transit hub. It will have a capacity to serve 12 million passengers annually. Prime Minister Modi, addressing a gathering on the occasion, said the airport is set to become the logistics gateway of northern India and will create thousands of employment opportunities.
पहली बार उत्तर प्रदेश को वो मिलना शुरू हुआ है जिसका वो हमेशा से हकदार रहा है। डबल इंजन की सरकार के प्रयासों से आज उत्तर प्रदेश देश के सबसे कनेक्टेड क्षेत्र में परिवर्तित हो रहा है।
After completion, the Noida airport will be the fifth international airport in Uttar Pradesh. This comes as the politically crucial state is slated to go to assembly polls early next year. The Indian Navy on Thursday commissioned submarine INS Vela, the fourth Scorpene-class submarine, adding more teeth to the country's naval prowess at the naval dockyard in western Mumbai. Indian Navy Chief Admiral Karambir Singh said INS Vela will play a crucial role in enhancing the Indian Navy's ability to protect the nation's maritime interests.
Indian Navy Chief Admiral Karambir Singh on Thursday said INS Vela, the fourth Scorpene-class submarine, will play a crucial role in enhancing the Indian Navy's ability to protect the nation's maritime interests. INS Vela, the fourth Scorpene-class submarine, was commissioned into the Indian Navy in the presence of Chief of Naval Staff Admiral Karambir Singh at the naval dockyard in western Mumbai on Thursday. Amid mounting border tensions and China delivering its largest and most advanced warship to Pakistan, the Navy Chief said that Indian Navy is closely monitoring defense cooperation between China and Pakistan.
ये जो कोऑपरेशन है चीन और पाकिस्तान का, इसको हम बहुत क्लोजली देख रहे हैं। काफ़ी सारा हार्डवेयर चाइना से पाकिस्तान को एक्सपोर्ट हो रहा है, जैसे कि शिप्स हैं, सबमरीन्स हैं, और इससे यहाँ का जो सिक्योरिटी डायनामिक्स में काफ़ी फ़र्क पड़ेगा, तो इसके लिए हमको प्रिपेयर्ड रहना पड़ेगा।
The Navy Chief also informed that the indigenous aircraft carrier INS Vikrant will be commissioned by August 2022. The ship, with a high degree of automation for machinery operation, ship navigation and survivability, has been designed to accommodate an assortment of fixed-wing and rotary aircraft.
In news from Pakistan, panic gripped across Pakistan on Thursday as petrol retailers began a nationwide strike for an indefinite period, demanding higher profit margins exacerbated by the government's move to raise taxes and boost revenue. However, the Pakistan government said it will accept only legitimate demands and asked the protesters to reconsider the strike.
Large crowds of people across Pakistan with their cars and motorbikes gathered at petrol stations overnight to fill up as panic gripped ahead of a nationwide strike by petrol retailers on Thursday. Pakistan Petroleum Dealers Association or PPDA began the nationwide strike at 6 a.m. local time. protesting over low profit margins, exacerbated by the government's move to raise taxes and boost revenue under its agreements with the IMF, the International Monetary Fund. Most petrol pumps remained closed during the strike. However, a few which opened witnessed scenes of overcrowding. Local media also reported incidents of panic buying as the duration of the strike remained uncertain.
ये नेशन वाइड है जी स्ट्राइक. दूसरे नंबर पे ये है कि ये ऑल ओवर पाकिस्तान और इनडेफिनेट पीरियड के लिए ये स्ट्राइक की जाएगी, जिसमें जितनी देर हमारे मुतालबात पूरे नहीं होते हम ये पंप्स को दोबारा नहीं ऑपरेशनल करेंगे.
मैं रात को 4 बजे से घूम रहा हूँ पंपों पे, जब जाके मुझे अभी पेट्रोल मिला है. मेरे स्कूल के बच्चे रुल रहे हैं. आदमी कहाँ से गुजारा करेगा?
Pakistan's Energy Minister Hamad Azhar said the government is willing to accept only legitimate demands of the retailers, and a summary of review of their margins has been submitted to Economic Coordination Committee. While fuel prices have increased several times this year, the government has said that under an agreement with the IMF struck this month to release around $1 billion USD financing facility, it would increase levies to help meet its revenue targets.
More news from Pakistan. A massive pile of 18 metric tons of drugs worth $1.3 billion was burnt on Wednesday on the outskirts of Islamabad by Pakistan's Anti-Narcotics Force. During the drug burning ceremony, Director General of Anti-Narcotics Force said his organization has seized 184 metric tons of narcotics this year. Officials said the confiscated drugs include hashish, opium, heroin, ketamine, cocaine, as well as Xanax, ecstasy, afrazolam and Roche tabs, along with a huge quantity of other drugs and prohibited chemicals. Pakistan is a major conduit for drugs flowing out of its western neighbor Afghanistan, which is the world's largest producer of heroin and a major hashish producer. Pakistan and Afghanistan produced around 6,000 metric tons of drugs in late 1990s. This is a major security concern for India, as it acts as a major source of funding for Pakistan's sponsored terrorism in the country.
And today in front of you it is about 18 metric tons of drug, and if in terms of the value it's about 1.3 billion. But believe me, this is money which spoils our economy. This is a black money. This causes inflation and everything. So this drug, this is not only spoiling our youth, but it is spoiling our economy as well.
Moving on to news from Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka's President Gotabaya Rajapaksa has warned the opposition to be vigilant, as a law can be enforced through the parliament to take action against leaders of the previous government responsible for the negligence that led to deadly Easter Sunday attacks. Nearly 270 people were killed in the series of bombings in 2019, which a probe revealed happened despite prior intelligence warnings. Sri Lanka's President Gotabaya Rajapaksa has warned the opposition to be vigilant, as a law can be enforced through the parliament to take action against leaders of the previous government responsible for negligence that led to the deadly Easter Sunday attacks in 2019. Addressing an event in Colombo on Wednesday, Rajapaksa recalled that the Presidential Commission of Inquiry appointed by the previous government has made recommendations that the then government, including former President Maithripala Sirisena and Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe, should be held responsible for the deadly bombings as they ignored prior intelligence warnings. 9 suicide bombers belonging to local Islamist extremist group National Tawhid Jamaat, linked to militant group Islamic State, carried out the series of blasts that tore through 3 churches and 3 luxury hotels in Sri Lanka in April 2019. The blast killed nearly 270 people. Earlier this week, the High Court began trial against 25 accused in the attacks and indicted Sri Lanka's former police chief Pujit Jayasundara for failing to act despite intelligence warnings. The next hearing in the case is scheduled for January 12. In news from Nepal, in the upcoming National Assembly elections in Nepal, 5 parties are planning to contest the polls as an alliance, and this could leave a weakened main opposition UML even weaker. Chairperson of CPN Unified Socialist Madhav Kumar Nepal has exuded confidence that alliance would become stronger in the elections and no one can break the alliance.
Chairperson of the Communist Party of Nepal Unified Socialist Madhav Kumar Nepal on Wednesday said that the 5-party alliance would become stronger in upcoming elections and no one can break it. Elections at the local units will be held in April next year, and the terms of as many as 20 National Assembly members expires on March 4. The elections to replace them are set to take place on January 24. Addressing a program, Nepal invited cadres of main opposition CPN UML to join his party. In August, the Unified Marxist-Leninist faced a split, with Madhav Kumar Nepal ending a long-standing feud with UML chairman KP Sharma Oli and forming a new party, Unified Socialist. The upcoming polls could leave a weakened UML even weaker. 8 members from the UML, 4 each from the Communist Party of Nepal Maoist Centre and CPN Unified Socialist, 3 from the Nepali Congress and 1 nominated, are completing their 4-year terms as determined by drawing lots in June 2018. Prime Minister Sher Bahadur Deuba's Nepali Congress has been leading the government after Oli's fall in mid-July, and the 5 parties contesting the elections as an alliance would mean a struggle for the UML to retain the 8 seats, and if Oli's UML fails to retain its 8 members, it will be reduced to 15 seats in the National Assembly. Loss of seats in the National Assembly will come as a major setback for the UML, which has by now lost governments in all the provinces.
A 15-feet sculpture from plastic waste to raise awareness about its impact on turtles has been created by a visual artist at India's eastern Puri beach. The endangered Olive Ridley turtles hatch at Indian beaches every season. However, confusing plastic waste for food, many turtles end up eating them, resulting in a painful death.
A visual artist has created a 15-feet sculpture from plastic waste at the Puri beach in India's eastern Odisha state to raise awareness about its impact on Olive Ridley sea turtles. The plastic sculpture, shaped like a turtle, seems to be going towards the sea. Artist Manveer Singh said, with his creation, he wants to depict that instead of turtles, plastic is entering the seas. Odisha hosts the largest nesting grounds for the endangered Olive Ridley turtles in the world that hatch at its beaches every season. However, confusing plastic waste for food, many turtles end up eating them, resulting in a painful death.
इनका एक बहुत बड़ा रोल है ये पूरा अर्थ का लाइफ सर्कल को मेंटेन करके रखने का। तो मैं यहाँ पर मोर देन 250 जो टर्टल है मैंने वो डिस्प्ले किया है और वो सभी मिलकर एक बड़ा एक टर्टल का फॉर्म ले रहे हैं जो कि मोर देन 15 फीट है। तो इसके थ्रू मैं बस अपना यही दिखा रहा हूँ कि हम एक भ्रम है कि हम किस भ्रम में जी रहे हैं कि हम दूर से देख रहे हैं कि टर्टल है लेकिन वो सिर्फ एक प्लास्टिक ही है।
He done this very wonderfully because with the help of lot of people, especially ladies, he employed them for making these things, and then it's a very wonderful effort.
According to a prediction of world scientists, at current rate, the amount of plastic in world oceans is expected to become more than the amount of fishes in them by the year 2050.
Well, that's all we have for you from South Asia this evening. Now our viewers can watch the show on SouthAsiaNewsline.com. You can also visit us on Facebook.com/AsAsiaNewsline and follow us on Twitter @AsAsiaNewsline. That's all in tonight's edition. We will see you same time tomorrow. Good night.